In this video, we're going to use what we call the FOIL method. We use this when we have a binomial times a binomial. So two things times two things. We call this FOIL for first, outer, inner, last. So you do the first terms, then you do the outside terms, then you do the inside terms, and the last. So when I do my first, 3x times 5x gives me 15x squared. My outside, 3x times negative 3 is negative 9x. My inside, 4 times 5x is positive 20x. And my last, 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. Now, often when you do these, you can combine some terms after you multiply. Like on this one, I have a negative 9x and a positive 20x in the middle. Those are like terms. They're both x's. I can add those together and get that positive 11x. So my answer would be 15x squared plus 11x minus 12. So let's look at this one. Now this one is called finding the product of sum and differences. We do it the same way, okay? You'll notice it has a special answer, but we do it the same way, okay? So when I multiply here, 4y times 4y gives me 16, and I'm going to get rid of this real quick so we can write this out and have some room. Okay, so 4y times 4y gives me 16y squared. 4y times negative 3 gives me a negative 12y. Negative 3 times positive 4y is a positive 12y. And then negative 3 and positive 3 gives me a negative, erase that little thing there, gives me a negative 9. Now I can add the terms together in the middle, right here. And notice they cancel out. One is positive, one is negative. They cancel out. So I end up with 16y squared minus 9. Now this is kind of a special one, and we're going to use this when we start to factor in the next section. So what you need to know is when they are exactly the same except the sign in the middle, you're going to end up with the middle terms canceling. Let's see how it happens here. 5a to the 4th times 5a to the 4th is going to give me 25a to the 8th when we add our exponents. 5a to the 4th times negative 6 is negative 30a to the 4th. 6 times positive 5a to the 4th is positive 30a to the 4th. And then 6 times negative 6 is negative 36. So again, what happens here is those two a to the 4ths in the middle are going to cancel out. So we're going to have 25a to the 8th minus 36. And that only happens when they are exactly the same except for the sign in the middle. Now we're going to look at some more. This is a little bit different. What this tells you is before you multiply, you have to write it twice. So this is the same as x plus 3 times x plus 3. You write that twice. Okay. Now we're just going to FOIL it. Now this time the middle term is not going to cancel out because on this one, they're not the same except for the sign in the middle. They have the same sign. So watch what happens. X times x gives me x squared because we have 1 here and 1 there. X times positive 3 gives me a positive 3x. On the inside, 3 times x, positive 3x. And the last, 3 times 3, positive 9. So we just used FOIL again. First, outer, inner, last. Now this time we can put those inner terms together. 3x plus 3x is 6x. So our final answer would be x squared plus 6x plus 9. Let's look at another one. This one is also plus in the middle. So I'm going to write it twice. 3x plus 7 times 3x plus 7. And the middle terms aren't going to cancel out because they're both positive. So let's FOIL this. 3x times 3x is 9x squared. 3x times 7 is a positive 21x. 7 times 3x is a positive 21x. And 7 times 7 is a positive 49. Now we can add those middle terms together. That's going to add to 42x. So my answer is going to be 9x squared plus 42x's plus 49. Remember, when you add or subtract, you don't change the exponent. Let's look at another one. Now this example's the same except it's minus in the middle. So when I write it twice, this is going to be x minus 4 times x minus 4. Okay, they're both negative, so the middle's not going to cancel out. Let's do it. X times x is x to the second. X times negative 4 is negative 4x. That's our first. Our outside, our inner. Negative 4 times x is negative 4x. Our last, negative 4 times negative 4 is a positive 16. We can add those middle terms together. Negative 4x is negative 8x. So my answer would be x squared minus 8x plus 16. And that would be my final answer. Let's do one more. On this one, I'm going to write it twice. 5y minus 6 times 5y minus 6, because that's what this 2 up here means. Write it twice. There's a special formula for it, but you really don't have to memorize the formula. You can just FOIL it out. 5y times 5y gives me 25y squared. 5y times negative 6, when I do the outside, is negative 30y. Negative 6 times 5y, when I do the inside, is negative 30y. And last, negative 6 times negative 6 is a positive 36. Now the ones in the middle we can put together. So we're going to have 25y squared. Negative 30y is a negative 60y. And then on the end, a positive 36. And all of those we're using FOIL.